Yeah, you said a lot there, but I'm glad you pivoted towards McCarthy, and you said the word that I'm interested the most right now is legacy. John, I am as a filmmaker, I like to get to the soul of a person. I like to think I'm decently good at it. I'm certainly not a doctor or a psychiatrist. I can't diagnose or anything. I want to talk about McCarthy for a little bit, and then you could respond as well. This is a person who's eyed this seat for the recent past, and he's wanted this for his legacy. He wants to be able to say Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, and I don't think he has aspirations for more. I don't think he wants to be president or vice president or anything like that. I think this was his goal, and he's now achieved that. At what cost, right? This is a man who is embarrassed nationally. He's embarrassed within his own party. Democrats don't respect him. He's an election denier that's sitting at the Speaker of the House chair. This is a person who I think is the third most votes for a Speaker of the House ever. I think 15 is the third most. You take a whole week to get this done. You beg you on national TV, or I don't know if it's national TV, but in front of the country, you walk upstairs or up the stairs and you beg and you grovel at Matt Gaetz's footsteps to make you speaker. You beg Donald Trump for help and he ends up bringing you a victory. So now you have to kind of kiss the ring as well. What do you think, John? I know he wanted it so bad, and I will respect anybody who wants something and goes after it, but he's the weakest speaker of the House in the history of the House, from what I was reading. And so, what do you think about him as a human and what he's feeling inside and his legacy? Like, this is obviously going to define his legacy. This doesn't just this is how it started, John. He's going to get owned by Gates and MTG and all these people along the way. He's going to get outmaneuvered by Jeffries. He's going to get outmaneuvered by McConnell and Trump, right? So, and here's the thing: if he loses in 24, let's say the House gets flipped back in 24, he's never going to be speaker again. He'll get blamed for something that he didn't really do. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to peek into his soul, and I don't see much there. I felt it was so empty last night, despite him winning speaker.
Yeah, well, I think one of the to your point about speaking to his soul, I don't know what his soul is. I think he was so driven by it, and I do think, and it goes back to what we were just talking about before about dragging it out. He did put his ego in front of everything else, and he also went ahead and cut all sorts of deals, um, you know, to really truly kiss the butt of people who are just out to destroy you. Now, granted, that's the way politics are at times, but I do think that some people are calling him speaker in name only, saying that the far right, the Freedom Caucus, are going to basically run the show. I do think he. I don't say he sold. Let me backtrack. I don't think he sold his soul. He had no soul to sell, right? And I think I think now that he's there, that's where legacy kicks in. And if he starts, if he realizes that what he has done to the country, what he's done to the Republican Party, what he's done to himself, I'll be very fascinated to see if he needs self awareness. He's got to keep the natives restless. Now, one of the things that we should talk about and talk about now, and it's going to be litigated on Monday or today, the day that the pod drops later today, will be the rules package. So one of the things that happened was he cut a lot of deals around the rules down to one member. One member can go ahead and call for his removal, and they have to go through a process of this. In addition to that, he, basically has some budgetary things that are non-starters. And there was some rumors yesterday that some of the deals he cut on the budget that he put into the rules, um, the moderate Republicans are going to reject, and they will probably vote with the Democrats to knock them out. So I want you to think about that and think about how he set up a scenario, and he has told the far right, you get this, this, and this. he made these promises, but these promises have to be ratified by the entire Congress. And he made promises that he might not be able to deliver on. So on the one hand, for those who were holding out, and I guess I'm glad they caved in, because we do need a speaker, but they got played, and those aren't going to happen. And so these people held out for deals, and then they fell then they fell in line based upon these deals, and then they're going to be in for a rude awakening if the rules package as he agreed to does not get approved. Then they basically voted for him on a wing and a prayer, and he's already turning around and going back on his word, or the Congress is going back on his word for him. And then is there mutiny? Is there a chaos again? And so you have to ask yourself, what type of person makes deals that, one, he can't that are that bad to begin with, but more importantly, that he might not be able to deal with. But the other thing is, I would think both his supporters and his detractors within the House look at how desperate he was, and they probably feel they're gonna probably spend the next 2 years rolling him. You know, Pelosi was a much better leader, and you didn't cross her. Someone was saying that they were talking to a Democratic member of Congress who said neither time did she vote for Pelosi. She had meetings with Pelosi. She explained to Pelosi why she would not vote for her, but never once did that ever go public, right? Out of respect. And say the folks who were not going to support Pelosi, who came out against her, first of all, they wanted to make sure, Pelosi's very shrewd. She lets you come out against her provided she's got the votes. If she needs your vote, maybe she might be a little bit different, but she's not afraid to let folks go against her. But the folks who came against her also did not go ahead and make complete asses of themselves. So I think that, his ability to be an effective leader has really been undermined.